Yeah, if I ruled the world, I'd lower the coke prices, raise the welfare, and lower the perk prices. You could pay for a feature, even though the flow priceless.
What's up, gang, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Music. Today, we're in the beautiful city of Miami, Florida. As you can see, there's a lot of floods, but today we're here to learn more about the OnlyFans model who killed her boyfriend. So in the meantime, I'm gonna need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget, gang, we won't incriminate nobody over here.
Give me my phone. You have your phone.
Chilling audio, prosecutors say, illustrates the toxic relationship between social media model Courtney Clenney and her boyfriend Christian Obumseli. In this next clip, Clenney can be heard screaming, cursing, and using a racial slur, seemingly angry that Obumseli said hello to another woman on a bike ride and didn't tell her about it.
You literally talked to her without telling me! Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said, hi, you and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a You're a Yes, thank you. Coming from Courtney, thank you. I want you to get away from me!
The recordings were made by Obumseli seemingly in secret, sometime before he was stabbed in the chest by Clenney in April. Clenney,
Florida, a key decision in the case of an OnlyFans model accused of murdering her boyfriend over 2 years ago has been delayed. A Florida judge has postponed a decision regarding controversial evidence obtained by the prosecution in the case of Courtney Clenney. Clenney, an OnlyFans and Instagram star known online as Courtney Taylor, is facing a second-degree murder charge related to the April 2022 deadly stabbing of her boyfriend.
I don't know, and I apologize, but you hit me.
also released today, new photos showing the bloody crime scene in the apartment and elevator. Clenney's body apparently covered in Obumseli's blood. The pictures and audio evidence in discovery. NBC6 obtained them through a public records request. Clenney is in jail charged with second-degree murder. Clenney's attorneys from the beginning have maintained that
Clenney, an OnlyFans and Instagram star known online as Courtney Taylor, is facing a second-degree murder charge related to the April 2022 deadly stabbing of her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, in Florida. The evidence in question was part of the failed prosecution of her parents, 60-year-old Kim Dwayne Clenney, and his wife, 57-year-old Deborah Lynn Clenney, who live in Bee Cave. The two were arrested in Austin in January and accused of hacking into Obumseli's laptop. Prosecutors say the seizure of evidence was lawful as they were unaware Clenney's parents were represented by counsel at the time. However, Clenney's defense team argues that the evidence is under attorney-client privilege and should not be made public. The judge has postponed a decision until after the New Year holiday. Courtney Clenney was arrested in August 2022 in Hawaii for the April 2022 fatal stabbing of her live-in boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. She has been held without bond since her arrest. At the time of her arrest, Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle characterized Obumseli's death at the couple's Miami apartment as the culmination of a tempestuous and combative relationship that began in November 2020. The county medical examiner said in an autopsy report that Obumseli, who worked in cryptocurrency, died from a forceful downward thrust from a blade that went 3 inches into his chest, piercing a major artery.
Social media model arrested for the stabbing death of her boyfriend.
The police body camera video shows her pleading for help just days before the murder. Here's local 10's Tanel Sabovic with the video.
By all accounts, Christian Obumseli and Courtney Clenney have had a very violent and toxic relationship. Police were called to their luxury apartment on multiple occasions, including 2 days before they say she stabbed him to death.
We asked her, I said, do you want him to leave the property? She said no, she don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said
okay,
yes.
Hold on.
No, but
hold on. He's talking, then you talk.
You're looking at police body cam video from Friday, April 1st. One Paraiso building employees called Miami police in regards to a domestic disturbance between OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney and her boyfriend Christian Obumseli, 2 days before investigators say she stabbed him to death. Clenney is in the lobby. The employee is the one who actually called police and tells them.
Her boyfriend comes charging towards her, and we actually try to get in the middle of it.
Clenney is visibly upset. She's on the phone with her dad while telling police Obumseli is stalking her.
Right now, I have not always been the victim, but right now I'm a freaking victim in the situation. I'm scared to go downstairs and walk my dog.
Then says,
I want a restraining order against Christian Obumseli.
Officers checked Clenney's apartment and Obumseli wasn't there. They let Clenney know that if he's been living in her apartment and has belongings there, they cannot kick him out. Also informing her that she's not being clear on what she wants.
You want
want this person to completely disappear from your life. At the same time, you have him in your apartment here for 2 months with a ton of stuff in here.
But I know.
Clenney goes back to her apartment. Officers then go to the employee who made the original call, telling him she never disclosed that there was violence that particular night.
When she came down, he went charging at her.
That's fine.
That's my whole thing.
Right. But she didn't mention none of that until she says she wants to do something about it, that's where we step in, where it's a criminal activity, but she needs to mention something about that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we can't do anything.
Authorities say Clenney's story of self-defense has inconsistent.
Now at 5:30, the parents of OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney are facing charges tonight. It's connected to the investigation into her boyfriend's killing.
Now, we just learned minutes ago that Clenney's mother bonded out of jail. However, her father tonight remains in custody.
It is the latest twist in a story that has made international headlines. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister has the new details and what they could mean for the case against Courtney Clenney.
According to the affidavit, Clenney's parents, Kim and Deborah, are accused of holding on to and accessing the laptop of Clenney's deceased boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. So what does this mean for the case? Well, I spoke to a local legal expert who weighs in. It's a criminal case that's turned into a family affair. Tuesday, Kim and Deborah Clenney were booked into the Travis County Jail in Texas, as their daughter Courtney sits in jail in Miami on murder charges.
We believe is incriminating evidence, and it goes to the cover-up, which my family has always believed.
Courtney, a former OnlyFans model, is accused of stabbing her boyfriend Christian Obumseli to death in their Miami apartment in 2022. Now, prosecutors say her parents accessed and took Obumseli's personal laptop from the crime scene.
Clearly, what they did was illegal. Clearly, the state attorney's office was correct in filing charges.
According to the affidavit, the Clenneys accessed or caused to be accessed the victim's laptop with knowledge that such access was unauthorized. So what does this mean for the case?
If law enforcement determines that there was some effort to either delete or try to alter or to do something with the contents that is contained within that laptop, then not only would you see the state attorney's office for Miami-Dade hold firm on the third-degree felony, there could potentially be additional charges filed.
An attorney for the Clenneys provided us with this statement that reads in part, "We believe the Clenney family has been targeted with some trumped-up charges to discredit them in the press and make their lives miserable. It stinks of a power play by the prosecutors to control the narrative." This Thursday, the state is seeking a gag order in the case. Now they've gone after Courtney's mom and dad in such a way that requires...
This model who claimed that she murdered her boyfriend in self-defense was back in court today. But she wasn't alone. Her parents and former co-defendants joined their daughter at today's hearing.
NBC6's Christian Colon joined us from court with a report.
Former OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney in a red jumpsuit as she faces a second-degree murder charge for stabbing her 27-year-old boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Courtney's parents, Kim and Deborah, were also in court. Initially, the pair was facing charges for breaking into the victim's laptop. However, those charges were dropped 2 months ago. A judge ruled prosecutors violated the Clenney's privacy by accessing family attorney conversations in their iCloud accounts. Now the parents want their iCloud data back.
That's private financial records, medical records, communications with your spouse, communications with your attorney.
The Clenney's iCloud data is in a hard drive held by the court.
I don't know how they are accessing it.
Prosecutors want to look through it, claiming there could be evidence against Clenney on the murder case.
Mr. Obumseli's mom wasn't on the phone when he was killed. The defendant's mother was.
Prosecutors say Clenney's mom was communicating with their daughter around the time of the murder. Therefore, they want to keep digging through digital evidence.
It is a scary, scary proposition that a government agency thinks that it can wade its way into your private data in the hopes of finding something related to a crime.
But this time, Judge Laura Cruz went against defense attorneys and denied their request. Judge Cruz says police seize phones all the time if they believe there could be evidence.
And having read through the warrant as to why the state was requesting this information, I'm going to deny.
And defense attorneys say they plan to appeal the judge's denial. So for now, those hard drives will be.
This shit is just sad. This case is still ongoing. The parents got charged. Charges got dropped. As y'all can see, domestic violence is no good. It destroys you. It makes you kill and hate each other. Use both of these people as influences. Until next time, y'all be safe. And this case will definitely have a part 2.